Hello students, welcome to Shriram IS to the Unacademy platform, and we were dealing with the series of the live classes with the concept of governance, which is a part of GS mains paper 2 in the civil service examination. And we dealt with governance as a concept. What is good governance? What are the aspects of good governance? And also some of the aspect of the application part we dealt with. We had seen in the last class some of the aspect of e-governance, right? What is accountability, right? How you relate with the government policies with the governance, right? So basically certain aspect of the good governance, and the application part is very important, and conceptual clarity about the topic is also very important, because unless until you are conceptually clear about the topic, you will not be able to apply those topics, right? जब आप डेली न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ो या जो भी चीज़ें हैं, क्या गवर्नेंस का क्या एस्पेक्ट है, पहले तो एस्पेक्ट आपको याद होने चाहिए. एब्सेंस ऑफ करप्शन, पार्टिसिपेशन, राइट, fair governance, equitable governance, application of technology to ensure effective and efficient delivery of the goods and services. उसमें ethical governance भी आ जाता है, जो आपको गाइड करे to be fair to the people, जो आपको resources को allocate करने में गाइड करे, जो आपको decision making में गाइड करे to take the right decision. That is ethical governance, right? So basically aspect of governance देखा था. हम लास्ट क्लास से थोड़ा सा शुरू करेंगे. एक एस्पेक्ट है, एक मंत्रा है गुड गवर्नेंस का, जो दिस पब्लिक this government used to use, and it is one of the key phrase for good governance, and there was a concept called new public management, NPM. In public administration we study that. So there was also concept of minimum government, maximum governance. अब ये देखो application. The government comes to the power. It says that we'll follow this motto of minimum government, maximum governance. So what do you mean by that, right? So what does it mean? And it is an aspect of governance, right? It is application of the government. And how do you relate many things to this? We'll see. Minimum government is basically what did our Honorable Prime Minister meant, that his administration, his government will try to reduce the role of the government, right, in the society. It will try to reduce the role of the government in ensuring the effective delivery of goods and services to the people. Like government का role कहाँ वो कम करना चाहते थे? He wants to reduce the role of government in every affairs of the society, right? For example, earlier there used to be lot of absolute laws, colonial laws and all. He came to the power, he scrapped majority of the laws, right? Majority of the laws. Earlier there used to be like 80 more than 80 ministries and departments, right? He reduced those departments, right? He basically, so his motto was that we will minimize the role of government. Laws ko kam karo, rules. Why he was majorly focused on those? Because those cumbersome laws, rules, they entangle the public servants in following the rules, regulation, and they are not concerned about the service delivery to the people, but they are concerned about following rules and regulation which are of no use, which are doing no good to the people, right? His role was that जहाँ पे businesses हैं, जहाँ पे where there is role of the private sector, where they can deliver effectively, we will ensure that private sector deliver those things effectively. जहाँ पे government का role है, वहाँ will ensure that there is government role, right? So minimum government is minimum role of government, that government alone will not do everything. We will reduce the role of government. Government will act as a facilitator. It will guide, it will make rules and regulation for every other players to ensure fair play, but it will itself reduce the role. Government cannot do anything. Government has no business to be in the business, right? So what are the steps? he majorly focused on non-performing public sector undertakings, PSUs. So like one major example was Air India. He sold off Air India, which was basically, since last decade, it was every year the budget was passed through the government, like public money was being involved to ensure that those Air India as an organization was working. It has a huge debt, right? So it was not performing, right? So he sold it off to the private sector. He told, basically the idea was that you take care of the efficiency and effectiveness of those organizations. Why do I pay the public taxpayer money to ensure the sustainability of the non-performing organization, right? So you reduce the role of government so that government is leaner. Government is leaner but stronger, right? So lean government is not the weak government. Lean government should also be the strong government, right? So role of the government should be reduced. Yes, role of the government is very important or quintessential in ensuring health, basic public goods like health, education, road infrastructure, LPG, basically sanitation, right? Water, right? So all these things, his motto was to ensure all these things, right? Maximum governance is governance, तो minimum government के रोल को कम करो, प्राइवेट सेक्टर सिविल सोसाइटीज रोल को भी इंक्रीज करो, क्योंकि पहले क्या होता था, अगर आप ये फिगर देखो, अगर पहले के प्रोसेस जो गवर्नेंस होता था, बेसिकली ये होता था, गवर्नमेंट का रोल बहुत ज्यादा होता था, गवर्नमेंट रोल वाज मैसिव, इट वाज इन्वॉल्व विद एवरी अफेयर्स ऑफ द पब्लिक, एंड दैट इज व्हाई समटाइम्स इट वाज आउट ऑफ इट्स गोल. व्हाट डू यू नीड, राइट? व्हाट इज द नीड ऑफ द पीपल? It was not able to figure it out, right? It was entangled in rules, regulation, and everything they are managing, right? So government role is not managing each and everything, every details and every nooks and corner. Yes, where there is underdevelopment, where there is more focus, you as a government body you need to do. But where there is scope for private sector to, deal with that situation or sector effectively, you should give that actor a chance, a fair chance, to ensure that there are proper development in those sectors also, right? Private sector involvement of other actors, what does it do? Government alone as an actor, what it ensures? It ensures monopoly, it ensures corruption, it ensures that government alone is doing, so government has the power, it basically was involved in the abuse of power, abuse of authority, monopoly, right? Lack of competition, right? Lack of fair play. So all these things basically, so reducing the role of government ensures, it's not that government role is ensured, government and here is good governance, right? So now we reduce the role of government, but governance as a process was maximized. अभी क्या है, इनका भी रोल आपने बढ़ा दिया, ठीक है, इनका भी रोल बढ़ गया, इनका रोल कम हो गया, but effectively with the proper networking they are able to ensure good maximum governance. Maximum कैसे governance होता है? Now the Air India is working effectively. Those public resources that was foregone in the Air India, every year in the budget, those can be utilized for the welfare of the people. Those funds of 32,000 crore or 10,000 crore can be channelized to ensure MGNREGS, right? मनरेगा जिसमें एम्प्लॉयमेंट मिलता है पब्लिक को 100 डेज के लिए, दैट ऑल दोज रिसोर्सेज इफेक्टिवली उसको आप कैसे, अब जैसे मैक्सिमम गवर्नेंस कैसे हो सकता है? मैक्सिमम गवर्नेंस होता है डीबीटी के थ्रू, राइट? डीबीटी के थ्रू, दैट मींस डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट ट्रांसफर. हाउ डिड इट इंश्योर मैक्सिमम गवर्नेंस? पहले गवर्नेंस क्या होता था? सेंटर से स्टेट, स्टेट से लोकल बॉडी, फिर यहां से पीपल पर जाता था. अब सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट में हाउ मेनी डिपार्टमेंट्स आर देयर, हाउ मेनी हायरार्की इज देयर, फ्रॉम देयर द स्टेट द मनी यूज्ड टू फ्लो टू स्टेट गवर्नमेंट, फ्रॉम स्टेट गवर्नमेंट टू लोकल गवर्नमेंट, now to the and then to the people. So jahan se one of our former prime ministers said in 1987, Rajiv Gandhi, that government spends 100 rupees, but only 15 only 15 rupees reaches to the people. That means 85 rupees was foregone in the process itself, right? So now how this minimum role of government reduced, how this decreased role of government and increased role of technology in the process of government ensured that today through the DBT, direct benefit transfer, through the use of technology, through the use of Aadhaar, center is directly transferring the money to account of the people, and there is no leakages whatsoever. Earlier we used to hear the cases of in the target PDS, target public distribution system, only 1 or 2 states have to, they had the fair system of public service delivery, but nowadays there are no leakages whatsoever. Whatever schemes and policies are there, for example, in PM Awas Yojana, whatever amount for 1.5 lakh rupees or 2 lakh rupees has to be there, that goes directly into the account of people. For LPG, the amount goes to the account of people, right? Every schemes and policies is directly benefiting the people, right, through the use of technology, right, through the use of e-governance, right? So that is enhancing the role of governance. So minimum role of the government, maximum governance. So basically these all things are there. I am just making you learn how to apply the concept. उसको आप crux में कैसे समझना है चीजों को, right? So now moving to the challenges part. Basically it was to ensure that the flow of class is maintained, right? So we'll deal with the challenges and the consequences, right? तो challenges देखते हैं, गवर्नेंस के एप्लीकेशन देगा, challenges देखते हैं. So basically first challenges is, जो challenges क्या है, जो good governance को achieve ही नहीं होने देते country में, right? So good governance cannot be achieved because there are various challenges. And what are those challenges? First is attitudinal problem of the civil servant. The attitude that you are the basically giver. You are basically the dependent syndrome that you cause as a civil servant, that you are the ruler and this is what you give to the people and to avoid their misery, right? This attitude is itself a ruler mindset attitude, right? It is an attitude that serves no welfare to the people, right? This is an colonial hangover. We call it colonial mindset, right? So basically what we see in the post-independence, even after 75 years of independence, that people, you all are studying here, you are understanding, okay, this I have to go to serve to the people. But once you go to that position or the authority, right, you start behaving and your attitude shapes as if you are basically ruling the country. You are at the topmost level, but you are there to serve the country. You forget that. So basically this attitudinal blockade to serve the people, right, itself is a problem, right? So basically attitudinal. It is a my baap culture. We call it my baap culture. Earlier they used to in the pre-independence India, they used to say like district collector is a my baap. उनके हाथ में ही जिंदगी है मेरी पूरी, उनके हाथ में ही सब कुछ है. तो my baap culture used to basically throng in those places, right? So वही attitude अभी भी है, right? उसमें क्या है? Civil servant have this feeling of elitism, right? They are insensitive to the need of people. They feel like we are elite class, right? They feel like they are very inward looking, right? They look within themselves that what do I need? They are focused on empire building, right? How do you create an empire of their own, right? So basically, they are inflexible in their approach. They are rigid. No, this cannot be done. You go to the public servant, sir, is there a possibility that I can do? No, you have to only follow the laws, rules, regulation. There cannot be any circumvention, right? So all these things ensure that the people are at, far off your authority, right? People, basically you are not ensuring for the cause of good governance, right? ये ऐसा attitude लोगों को गुड गवर्नेंस तो इंश्योर नहीं कर सकता जब तक आपका एटीट्यूड सेंसिटिव ना हो, फॉरगिविंग नेचर का ना हो, आउटवर्ड लुकिंग ना हो, पीपल फ्रेंडली ना हो, राइट? रूटेड इन ग्राउंड रियलिटीज ना हो, imbibed in values of the civil services na ho, right? Basically all these things are essential to ensure that you provide the good governance to the people, right? So basically एक तो ये कल्चर है वहां पे. Basically when there is a society which is comparatively or relatively less equipped, less less literate, less aware, so what do you have? There is always an exaggerated deference to the authority. Exaggerated मतलब जरूरत से ज्यादा रिस्पेक्ट होती है अथॉरिटी की, और वहीं पे वो अथॉरिटी पे जो इंसान होता है, those human being, those they are at the they feel that they have the right or the power to play with their authority or the power, right? So basically जो exaggerated deference to the authority है वो भी कहीं ना कहीं एक चीज खराब करती है. So aware citizenry should also वो एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल होता है गुड गवर्नेंस में. वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंटली इंश्योर करते हैं दैट गुड गवर्नेंस बिकॉज दे आर एबल टू डिमांड accountability from those public officials, right? So aware citizenry is very important for the good governance, right? So इसमें मैंने ये भी लिखा है lack of awareness, right? So lack of aware citizenry, जब आपको policies, programs, rules, laws, regulation, duties, rights, if you don't know all these things, right? तो आप क्या चीज ask करोगे, right? That person is educated, right? He knows or she knows what laws and rules, regulation, but you as a citizen, you are illiterate, you are not aware also of whatever is happening. So it's very important to be aware what as a civil servant what you are doing. See, you are preparing for the civil service examination, but apart from that you are becoming a aware citizenry of this nation, right? You are learning that what can be done, what are the processes, what are the routes that I can take, right? So you are making yourself aware, and that is very important notes for a development of a nation. If a public is aware, right, you can ask, you can demand accountability, you can ask for the transparency in the governance process, right? So aware citizenry is one of the tenets for the good governance, but lack of awareness is a challenge, right? Lack of accountability है, लोग accountability नहीं देते हैं, right? We say that accountability is divorced from the authority. Authority तो है, right? I have the authority. I am sitting at certain position. I have the authority of that position, right? मेरे पास certain, अगर मैं district collector हूँ या आप हो, तो वहाँ आपकी authority है कि जो उनके पास power है, जो चीजें करने की वो है. Authority तो है because law gives you that, right? Constitution gives you that, right? But you are not holding yourself accountable. You are not holding yourself accountable to the public. You are not replying to the question asked by the public. You are not replying to the RTI raised by the public, right? So basically authority is divorced from the accountability, right? और accountability कैसे ensure करोगे? जब आप उनको बेसिकली अकाउंटेबिलिटी क्यों नहीं इंश्योर हो पाती है? वाई अकाउंटेबिलिटी इज नॉट बीइंग एबल टू इंश्योर, राइट? क्योंकि दे आर सेल्डम पनिश्ड, राइट? उनको पनिशमेंट ही नहीं है. अगर 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 if at all I am asking any that why did not you do it as a citizen, you are asking a DC that sir I asked you for this certificate but this was not able to be provided, or with certain department you ask for certain things which is your right to ask but they have not provided it. So will they be held accountable for their actions? They should be, right? But there are lack of proper punitive measures, there are lack of punishment basically. अगर पनिशमेंट होगा चीजों को तो फिर लोग आते हैं लाइन पे, राइट? सो देयर आर बेसिकली लैक ऑफ पनिशमेंट टू होल्ड देम अकाउंटेबल. अगर वही पनिश होंगे तो फ्रॉम द नेक्स्ट दे विल स्टार्ट बिल्डिंग द हैबिट ऑफ अकाउंटेबिलिटी. एंड अनदर वे इज that this punitive measure is followed. Another way is that you are very aware as a public servant also that I have certain rights, obligation and duties and accountability. These are my foundational values, right? I should be held accountable to the people, right? The need of the people is the prime motive, right? The service of the people should be the prime motive guiding you, right? You should be held accountable for that and it should come from within. आपको प्यूनिटिव या पनिशमेंट दिया जा रहा है, व्हाट इज इट? इट इज फोर्स फ्रॉम आउटसाइड बट इट शुड कम फ्रॉम विद इन, राइट? तब जाकर के वो इफेक्टिव गवर्नेंस होगा, तब जाकर के वो एथिकल गवर्नेंस होगा, राइट? एथिकल गवर्नेंस का मतलब ही क्या था? बेसिकली इट शुड कम फ्रॉम विद इन. व्हाट इज राइट एंड व्हाट इज रॉन्ग? देयर आर मल्टीपल क्वेश्चंस बीइंग आस्क्ड टू यू बट यू आर नॉट रिप्लाइंग टू एनी ऑफ देम, राइट? You are not holding yourself accountable. That means you are not basically, that is not ethical governance. That is not an ethical conduct and not ethical governance. Ethical governance is proactiveness on the part of yourself as a public servant to ensure that you give accountability to the public, you give accountability to the your superior, you give accountability to the constitution, to the political executive, right? Excuse me. So basically, now moving on to the next, red tapeism. What do you mean by red tapeism? Red tapeism जो है वो एक फेनोमेना है जो कि अपने आप में बहुत पॉपुलर हो गया इन द फील्ड ऑफ पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. बट रेड टेप का मतलब क्या होता है? हमारे गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल ऑफिसेज में अर्लियर देयर यूज्ड टू बी फाइल्स, और अभी भी हैं फाइल्स, वो उन पे रेड टेप लगी रहती थी फाइल्स पे जब बांधते थे. तो बेसिकली जब भी कोई कंप्लेंट्स आती थी, फाइल्स आते थे, पेपर वर्क होता था, यू नो, देयर यूज्ड टू बी लॉट ऑफ फाइल्स एंड पेपर वर्क्स एंड एवरीथिंग. जो भी डिसीजन लेने हैं उसमें भी मल्टीपल फाइल्स आती थी एंड देन दे यूज्ड टू ट्रैवल फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू द अदर. फिर उसमें क्या होता था? फॉर एनी वर्क टू बी एक्सेलरेटेड और एक्सपीडेटेड, उसमें क्या होता था? पब्लिक जाती थी, वो फाइल्स को फिर उनको पैसे देती थी या जो भी चीज़ें होती थी वो बेसिकली फाइल्स को पुश करते थे. सो those file pushing, right, and excesses of files and cumbersome processes, right, that led to the very negative image of the government, and that was defined as red tapeism. That is cumbersome rules, regulation, processes that hinders the process of development. जब आपके पास इतनी फाइल्स आती हैं, जो चीजें आती हैं और बहुत सारे रूल्स रेगुलेशन, तो आप उसी में स्टक रह जाते हो. You are totally entangled in the cumbersome process of, you know, seeing the files, looking, following rules, regulation. You are stuck in those processes, and you know, in order to prioritize those things, you demand the ransom. Basically you demand the money, bribe from the public to push the files. So basically those all things was somewhere, you know, somewhere these were complexing the process of governance. File pushing, you know, hierarchy, a lot of hierarchies. Nowadays you must have read that government is considering to reduce the file pushing level to the 4 level, right? You know, only 3 or 4 level. And even the second ARC, Administrative Reform Commission, also recommended that file should pass only to 3 or maximum 4 levels, right? So basically what they mean is that you should reduce red tapeism, excesses of rules, regulation, cumbersome processes in the government. You should reduce it, because it neither, you know, it neither provides any goods to the government. It neither helps the public also, right? Basically public servants are entangled in all those rules and regulations and all those things, and they hardly look for the cause of the people, right, for the welfare of the people. अभी आपने एक पढ़ा होगा, न्यूजीलैंड recently bought a law in their parliament to ensure that whatever laws and rules and regulation that public servants are making or formulating, any policies, laws, rules and regulations, it should be written in very simplest or simple languages. No cumbersome, these verb or verbologies should be used in the rule making process, so that people are able to understand those things and they are able to hold, public servant accountable for their words, for their processes, so that public servants are not able to play with the words, play with the rules and regulations, right? So these are also, aspect of simplifying the governance processes, right? So now looking on to the last is ineffective PGRM, right? Ineffective PGRM. अच्छा, एक चीज आप लिख दो, जो भी एस्पेक्ट ऑफ गवर्नेंस है, अगर चैलेंजेस लिखो तो एस्पेक्ट, जो चीज मैंने एस्पेक्ट बताया था, जैसे एब्सेंस ऑफ करप्शन, तो करप्शन होगा तो इट विल बी अ चैलेंज टू गुड गवर्नेंस. सो करप्शन इटसेल्फ इज अ चैलेंज टू गुड गवर्नेंस, राइट? करप्शन it erodes the faith of public in the government. Corruption अगर public life में होता है, if there is corruption in the public life, it erodes the faith of the government, faith of the people in the government basically. ठीक है? तो corruption dents the authority of the government, right? So corruption is basically you cannot do anything. People cannot do anything with the proper service charges, right? They have to pay extra to get the things done, and it has very corroding effect on the basically essence of the society. Society, corrupts basically. Corruption एक ऐसा कीड़ा है जो कि ना तो एक इंडिविजुअल लेवल पे है, as it destroys an individual moral essence also, but it just destroys the essence of whole society, whole nation, So corruption is one of those insects which just, erodes the basic foundation of the nation, right? So corruption का presence ही अपने आप में ensure करता है कि वहाँ good governance हो ही नहीं सकता, right? Ineffective PGRM. PGRM is public grievances redressal mechanism. Public grievances redressal mechanism. Ineffective public, मतलब आपके जो grievances हैं, मान लो आपका गवर्नर, आपको कुछ पब्लिक सर्विस मिलनी थी या आपने कुछ डिमांड किया था पब्लिक से कि आप मुझे, मान लीजिए RTI थी, ठीक है, आपने डिमांड किया कि एजुकेशन में कितना हायर एजुकेशन को जा रहा है. यू जस्ट रोट एन RTI demanding the Ministry of Education that please furnish the exact amount that is going to the basically construction of the new higher education centers, to the teachers, central government teachers, to the state universities, to whatever, the amount, you just dovetail it very clearly, so that you want to take an account of every money spent, right, as a citizen. So you will file an RTI, right? And if government is not able to reply those things within 28 days or 30 days of mandated time, you can, is there any grievance redressal mechanism? जैसे मैंने, I was talking about lack of punishment, lack of accountability, right? तो lack of punishment basically क्या था? क्योंकि आपके पास कोई चैनल नहीं है ग्रीवेंस रखने का, ग्रीवियंस रिड्रेसल का मैकेनिज्म क्या होता है? बेसिकली आप एक सिंगल पॉइंट प्रोवाइड करो जहां पे आप अपने ग्रीवियंस जो हो कि आपके पास साथ ये बुरा हुआ, आपको ये नहीं दिया गया, या आपका ये ग्रीवियंस रहा है, उस चीज को आप एक मैकेनिज्म के थ्रू पुट करो जहां पे आपके बात की सुनवाई हो, राइट? दैट इज एन, if there is a proper grievance redressal mechanism, so what does it have effect on? Like public authority, they know that okay, there is a grievance redressal mechanism. If I do not do certain work, if I do not do what is accounted for my work, then a certain public will come and they will put their grievances, and I'll have to then I'll have to reply to them, and maybe certain punitive measures will be taken on me, right? So गुड गवर्नेंस या चैलेंज क्या है कि हमारे कंट्री में अभी भी इनइफेक्टिव पब्लिक सर्विस ग्रीवियंस रिड्रेसल है, मतलब वो इफेक्टिव नहीं है तो कुछ बट इफेक्टिव नहीं है। जैसे एक चीज मैं आपको बताता हूं, जैसे इनइफेक्टिव क्यों नहीं है। जैसे एक वन ऑफ दोज इफेक्टिव है जो कि अच्छे पब्लिक ग्रीवेंसेस को बहुत अच्छे से मैनेज करता है। जैसे देयर इज अ डिपार्टमेंट अंडर पीएमओ कॉल्ड डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ पर्सनल ट्रेनिंग, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव रिफॉर्म एंड पब्लिक ग्रीवेंसेस अंडर मिनिस्टर जितेंद्र सिंह, डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह, राइट? सो वहां पे कोई भी पब्लिक ग्रीवेंसेस रिलेटेड टू सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट यू कैन फाइल इट, राइट? देयर इज अ उमंग ऐप, तो उसमें आप पब्लिक ग्रीवेंसेस को आप डायरेक्टली वो कर सकते हो, डायरेक्टली जाता है वहां पे, उन पे हर मंथ रिकॉर्ड भी होता है कि कितने ग्रीवेंसेस को टैकल किया हमने, कितने वो किए। तो अगर वो होता है और वैसे सारे डिपार्टमेंट में रहे तो दैट विल इंश्योर दैट एवरी डिपार्टमेंट इज वर्किंग फॉर द कॉज ऑफ द पीपल, राइट? एंड एवरी डिपार्टमेंट विल फियर ऑफ देयर इनएक्शन। अगर वो एक्शन नहीं लेते हैं तो उसका उनको फियर होगा। सो अगर वो ये चीज सही होगा तो गुड गवर्नेंस, लोग इफेक्टिव डिलीवरी ऑफ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज देंगे। पीपल विल, पब्लिक सर्वेंट विल इंश्योर दैट there is proper governance, that they are able to deliver goods and services to the people. So ये भी एक important aspect है good governance का, right? So students, today we saw that थोड़ा आज हमने application भी देखा, and basically we dealt with the challenges to the good governance, right? And we'll be dealing with in the next class we'll be dealing with some aspect of basically consequences. अगर गुड गवर्नेंस नहीं होगा तो क्या क्या कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस आप देखते हो, ये इंपॉर्टेंट है। ये ऐसे पार्ट नहीं है बट आपको समझने के लिए इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि गुड गवर्नेंस के क्या रिजल्ट होते हैं, नहीं होगा तो क्या होगा, प्रॉब्लम क्या होती है। एंड देन फर्दर इन द फर्दर क्लासेस विल टेक द टॉपिक्स ऑफ अकाउंटेबिलिटी, मैकेनिज्म ऑफ अकाउंटेबिलिटी, ट्रांसपेरेंसी एंड ऑल दोज थिंग्स। ओके, थैंक यू।